Recently, I was at a meeting of a decision-making body, and there was a presentation being given. And the presenter there presented something that wasn't true. And it wasn't just that they made an error or a small mistake. They made a claim about something that didn't actually happen. And not only was it in the presentation, it was written down as part of their official submission to this organization. Now, folks in the organization that was receiving the presentation know that the claim isn't accurate, that the facts contained in the submission aren't all true. So what should they do? What would you do? Do you step in and try to correct it in the moment? Do you leave it alone? Or do you go and try to fix it in the official record? And that's what we're going to discuss in this video. We're going to look at the following point of order. That when a presenter presents incorrect information, you should go and correct the minutes so that they would reflect the true facts. All right, let's get into it. So let's get down to the heart of this point of order. And I feel like it's this. When a presenter gets the facts wrong, do you go and fix it in the minutes? Or would doing that compromise the integrity of your organization and possibly undermine the rules that are designed to protect the decisions that you make? Now, this is a scenario that can show up in any organization that uses formal meetings and formal rules of order. And it often will play out like this. Someone comes in and they present to the group with a lot of confidence. They're sure of their numbers, their claims, and they've even written down their presentation and provided that as a submission. Everyone around the table is engaged, they're interested, they're wrapped up in the moment. And it's not until afterwards that someone may notice an error in some of the claims, in some of the numbers, in the data, or in the evidence. The hard part is that quite often this may not be malicious at all. I mean, we're all human, right? People misunderstand conversations, they remember timelines differently, and they may repeat something that they've heard and they believe to be true. And in most settings, this isn't a problem. You could probably just stop in the moment and sort things out. But in a formal meeting setting, things are a little bit different, aren't they? You have formal rules of order, you've got specific ways in which you can engage, you have a chair, you have limitations on when, how, who can speak, and you have an invited guest that you don't want to seem rude in front of or offend them in any way. And besides, we can always just fix it in post, right? When it's a small error, that's fine. But when it's something more substantive, when we're talking about something that may have shaped the rest of the presentation or might have a real impact on the decisions that you and your organization are about to make, then it's a problem. It's an issue. And we need to approach this and figure out what the best way is possible, because we want our organization and all of our documentation to be accurate, right? We want to be transparent and factual when it comes to our decision making. Of course we do. And this is where the instinct to fix the record comes from. The organization knows that something is off. and nobody wants the official record to make it look like everyone just went along with it. So the minutes start to look like the appropriate place to make these corrections, or at least that's what I think is at the heart of this point of order. Minutes are the official record of the organization, but in this scenario that we're talking about, I think we need to be a little bit more precise, because phrasing it in that way could be a little misleading. It would be more accurate to say that minutes are the official record of the decisions that the organization has made. They are not there to preserve everything that was said, every claim that was made, and every awkward moment that happened around the table. What that is a transcript. Most organizations don't keep transcripts. What they keep are meeting minutes. So minutes are the legal record of the business of the meeting. What they do is they tell us things like who was there, when and where did it happen, what business transpired, what decisions were actually reached, and what direction was given, finally what actions were taken. This is why I like to describe minutes in this way. Minutes are a record of decision. They're not a record of discussion. Now that we've defined what minutes are, and just as importantly, what they're not, we can get back to what the original point of order was that we were looking at and investigate it with a little bit more precision. So a presenter can say something that is wrong, and it may need to be addressed still. It may need a follow-up conversation, a correction, or even a formal response from the organization, but the presenter's statement is not, on its own, an action of the assembly. The written submission of the presenter is not, on its own, a decision of the organization. If the minutes say that a presenter attended and made a presentation, the minutes should be accurate about that fact. If the minutes say a report was received, the minutes should be accurate about that. And if the minutes say that a motion was made or a decision was reached, the minutes should be accurate about these facts. But when the minutes are being used to explain, to debate, or to fact check the contents of a presentation, they're being asked to do something they were never designed to do in the first place. And it's right here where this point of order starts to fall apart. Remember to protect the procedural integrity of the decision-making group that you are part of. What you think are facts could actually just be opinion. And where does the line get drawn? Instead, what you want to do is to ensure that you're protecting the process and keeping your minutes free from any opinion whatsoever. So what is the right tool for the job? And I want to be careful here, because the answer is not to ignore inaccurate information. If something wrong is presented to the organization, and especially if it could influence or impact decisions that you need to make, then it does need to be dealt with, but not by turning the minutes into a fact-checking document, and especially not by turning the minutes into a transcript. In our scenario, the minutes are not the right tool. If the error is caught in the moment, then the better course of action is to raise the issue while the matter is still in front of the decision-making body. Ask some clarifying questions. Ask for a source of the information that's being provided to you. And maybe recommend that your group take a pause before any decision is made. Or request that other information, better information, is brought forward before the assembly before moving ahead. If, however, the error is caught after the fact, then bring the information back as its own piece of business. Receive a follow-up report. Put the corrected information in front of the members for their discussion and deliberation. Let the organization deal with the substance of the problem out in the open through the processes it would normally use to deal with information and the processes that you would normally use to make decisions. Remember, the minutes should only be altered when the minutes themselves are incorrect. If they record the wrong motion, if they record an incorrect vote, if they've recorded incorrect decisions and incorrect direction, then fix those things. But if the minutes have accurately shown that a presentation was given, that a presentation was received, they're not inaccurate just because there was inaccurate information contained in those presentations. If you want accuracy, challenge it in the room. If you want accountability, protect the integrity of the minutes. And always keep this in mind. A governing body cannot be accountable for its decisions unless it also evaluates whether the process used to make them were fair, informed, and appropriate. So let's go back and review the original point of order here. And that is that when a presenter provides incorrect information, you should correct the minutes to reflect the true facts. And if you've been watching this entire video, my ruling will come as no surprise in that I find this point of order to be not well taken. Don't get me wrong. There will be times when a presenter can't get their facts straight that your organization is going to want to take an action. Asking questions or requesting clarification, even a follow-up report. But the minutes themselves should be only altered when the minutes themselves are incorrect. If the minutes are wrong, fix them. If the information is wrong, then use any of the procedural tools that you already have. Bring the information in front of the group once again and use that opportunity to clarify and correct. This way you can correct the information, protect your minutes, and safeguard the integrity of your organization. As always, I want to hear from you. Have you been in a situation where an organization has tried to use your minutes in a way that they were never designed for? Let us know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, meeting adjourned for this episode of Point of Order. If you have questions or comments, please drop them below. If you're looking for short form breakdowns of motions and procedural issues, check out Order of Business. For long form content around historic developments in parliamentary procedure and deep dives into specific motions, Parliamentary Inquiry is where you want to go. And the series, The Monthly Grind, is there to give you ideas and insight into how to make your meetings more effective. For now, why don't you check out one of these two videos here and here, and I will see you next time.